Okay, so I was checking out Shirdell.sa the other day,
Uh-huh.
and their dairy section really caught my eye.
Oh,
It's not like your usual, supermarket selection.
right.
It's a Swedish online grocery store, and they specialize in international foods.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, so I've got their website pulled up here and a marketing blog post,
Mm-hmm.
and I figured, why not? Let's do a deep dive. What do you say?
Yeah, let's jump in. I love specialty stores like this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because you can glean so much about their target audience
That's your...
just from what they're selling,
Yeah.
Even a quick glance at Shirdell,
Hmm.
they've got categories for Iranian, Turkish, Sham,
Wow.
Egyptian, and Iraqi foods.
That is very specific.
It is. So that tells me they're catering to a niche market,
For sure.
looking for ingredients that might be hard to find elsewhere.
Yeah, it's like they're building a bridge to all these different cultures
Yeah.
through food,
Exactly.
which I love.
Yeah.
And they're not shying away from it at all. They've got this whole section called Etnologiska Cook,
Mm-hmm.
which is basically ethnological kitchens.
Yeah, that's a deliberate choice,
Oh.
for sure. It signals a commitment to authenticity.
Yeah,
Like they really respect the culinary traditions they're showcasing.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So the website itself is in Swedish,
Okay,
but the layout is pretty user-friendly.
gotcha.
You've got your standard sortimentet for the full assortment,
Yeah.
bestseller list, even a fine herna for all the bargain hunters out there.
I love that fine herna.
Right.
Yeah.
But let's get to the good stuff, the dairy.
Yeah.
What jumped out at you?
Okay, so one thing I noticed was the variety of milk powder,
Okay.
particularly Nido.
Mm.
They have everything
Yeah.
from a 900-gram pouch
Oh.
to a 2,500-gram bag.
Whoa, that's a lot of milk powder.
It is. There's even a deal with an extra 250 grams bonus.
Really? Wow, that's a lot of milk powder.
It is a lot.
What do you think that's about?
Catering to larger families,
Mhm.
frequent bakers,
Yeah, makes sense.
maybe people stocking up on pantry staples.
It's a good point.
Mm.
I always like to have some on hand, just in case.
Yeah, and they emphasize, too, that it's 100% natural milk,
Okay.
packed with nutrients.
That's healthy, too?
Yeah, you can use it for everything. Smoothies,
Hmm.
baking. You can even substitute it for fresh milk.
Yeah, it's a game changer, shelf-stable milk,
Absolutely.
especially for those who, like to cook with international ingredients
Yeah.
that might not be readily available fresh.
Exactly. Shelf stability seems to be a big thing here.
Interesting.
They also have Happy Cow cheese
Oh, okay.
in a convenient 340-gram jar.
Candy.
Perfect for a quick spread.
Yeah.
Stuffing into wraps, soups, salads, for a
Mhm.
little creamy boost.
I am seeing a theme of convenience here.
Right.
For sure.
Right.
I'm all about it. But you know what else caught my eye? The rainbow unsweetened condensed milk.
Oh, interesting.
What do you think? More health-conscious customers? Or just covering all the bases?
I think it's a bit of both.
Okay, that makes sense.
They do offer the regular sweetened condensed milk, too,
Oh,
like Nestle Carnation.
gotcha.
So they're clearly aiming to provide options for
Right.
a range of preferences
Mhm.
and dietary needs.
It's always good to have options.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of options, they've also got two types of kaimak.
Oh, K-Mac.
Yes, Puck Creamy Kaimak
Yeah.
and Kaimak Natural Nestle.
I love K-Mac.
Kaimak is great.
Good.
For those who haven't had it, it's incredibly rich and creamy,
Mhm.
almost like a clotted cream,
Yeah.
and the staple in a lot of Middle Eastern desserts.
Yeah, and Shirdell, they emphasize that connection, even mentioning that the Puck K-Mac has a hint of caramel.
Oh, wow.
Perfect for traditional desserts.
Okay.
It's a clever way to provide context and inspire their customers.
Yeah.
Plus, both K-Mac options are shelf-stable.
Oh, there's that shelf stable again?
Yep, just like the milk powder.
Interesting.
All about long-lasting ingredients for those who want authentic flavors on hand.
Okay, so we've got Nido, 2 Cows milk powder, Happy Cow cheese,
Hmm.
Rainbow condensed milk, Puck, and Nestle Kaimak.
Right.
That's quite a selection.
It is.
And we haven't even talked about the Complete Coffee cream powder.
Right. That one piqued my interest, too.
Yeah, it's a very specific product.
It is. It seems like they've truly thought of every possible way to incorporate dairy into a diverse range of cuisines and culinary habits.
It's like they're saying, we get you.
Right.
You want to explore global flavors. We're here to help.
Exactly.
And speaking of helping customers explore,
Mm-hmm.
marketing seems to play a key role.
Absolutely.
I'm looking at their blog post right now.
Okay.
They really lean into promoting the quality
Yeah.
and variety of their dairy selection.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
When you're catering to a niche market like this,
Yeah.
you need to educate and inspire your customers.
Absolutely.
It's not just about selling a product.
Right.
It's about selling an experience.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Selling an experience.
Mm-hmm.
So they offer some pretty handy tips, too.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was looking at some of those.
Mm-hmm.
They suggest adding Nido milk powder to porridge
Okay.
or lattes for extra creaminess and a nutritional boost.
Yeah.
Simple but effective.
Simple but effective ties back to that theme of convenience we were discussing earlier.
For sure.
You know, showing customers how to easily integrate these perhaps unfamiliar ingredients into their everyday routines.
Absolutely. And they also recommend pairing happy cow cheese with crackers and veggies for a quick snack.
Easy.
Super easy.
Right.
Again, highlighting that versatility and ease of use.
And then finally, they suggest using the rainbow condensed milk as a natural sweetener in desserts, subtly promoting that healthier option.
I see.
You know, for those who are mindful of their sugar intake.
Clever marketing. It is. It's really starting to feel like Shirdell isn't just selling dairy products. They're selling a whole approach to food and cooking. They're encouraging exploration. Experimentation. Willingness to embrace new flavors and traditions.
Absolutely.
It's inspiring me.
That's great.
It is.
That's awesome.
So you know what's really interesting, though?
What's that?
I was thinking about how they organize the products. And remember those etnologica categories?
Yeah.
When you go into the dairy section itself, those distinct cultural categories disappear.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Yeah, so it's like they're encouraging a sort of culinary fusion. You might be browsing Iranian spices one minute, then grabbing happy cow cheese for a sandwich the next.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It seems counterintuitive, right?
You'd think so.
Like you think you would want to guide the customer towards products that align with their specific culinary interest.
For sure, yeah. Keep them in their lane.
Yeah. Keep them in their lane. But this suggests a different customer. Someone who's comfortable navigating across various cuisines. Someone who sees these ingredients as building blocks rather than being confined to a specific cultural context.
Precisely.
So it's less about recreating authentic dishes. More about incorporating global flavors and textures into your own personal cooking style.
It speaks to a growing trend, I think.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
The blurring of culinary boundaries.
Really?
Yeah, you see it everywhere. Food trucks, restaurants, even home kitchens.
Yeah.
People are becoming more adventurous.
I've noticed that.
Yeah. More experimental with their cooking.
It makes sense. It's like Shirdell.se is acknowledging that their customers aren't just looking to replicate traditional recipes. They're looking to create something new, something uniquely their own.
Right, by not pigeonholing their dairy products. They're giving customers the freedom to do just that, trusting them to make those connections.
I see.
Be inspired by the diversity of their selection.
This is really making me think about how we approach food in general. Are we too quick to categorize?
Interesting question.
Yeah, to label things as belonging to one culture or another.
It's a valid point.
Yeah.
Perhaps this approach is challenging those assumptions, encouraging us to see the possibilities in combining ingredients and techniques from different traditions.
It's like they're saying, hey, don't be afraid to mix and match.
Exactly.
To experiment, to create something truly unique.
Right, and in doing so,
they're
tapping into a really interesting shift in how we think about food. It's not just sustenance anymore. It's a form of self-expression.
Well, that's a good point.
You know, a way to connect with the wider world. And make it your own.
I love that this deep dive is turning out to be a lot more philosophical.
A little bit, right?
Than I anticipated.
Yeah.
But I am loving it.
Good.
It's really making me see this website and the product selection in a whole new light.
That's the power of a deep dive.
It is.
You never know what unexpected insights you might uncover.
For sure.
But speaking of insights.
Okay, go on.
Let's circle back to those marketing tips. In the blog post. I think there's another layer to unpack there.
Oh, okay. I'm intrigued because I remember thinking they were pretty basic.
Yeah, they seemed pretty straightforward.
Like adding milk powder to porridge, pairing cheese with crackers. Using condensed milk in desserts.
Yeah.
What else is there?
Well, think about the common thread running through all those tips.
Okay.
Convenience. They're showcasing simple, quick ways to incorporate these products
into everyday life.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, it's not about elaborate recipes or techniques. It's about accessibility.
That's a really smart strategy.
It is.
Especially when you're dealing with a customer base that might be unfamiliar with some of these ingredients.
Right, they're breaking down those barriers.
Yeah.
Making global flavors less intimidating, more approachable.
Like, hey, you don't have to be a master chef
Exactly.
to enjoy these products. Just try this or this and see what you think.
Exactly. And in doing so,
Yeah.
they're inviting their customers to become part of a larger culinary conversation.
Okay.
One that celebrates diversity, exploration,
I like that.
and the sheer joy of discovering new tastes and textures.
You know, it strikes me that there's this subtle message of empowerment here.
Yeah, there is.
They're not just providing ingredients. They're providing tools and inspiration
Right.
for their customers to become more confident and creative
For sure.
in the kitchen.
It's about saying you have the power to create something delicious and meaningful. Even if you're starting with ingredients that might seem unfamiliar or intimidating.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's not just a grocery store. It's a culinary launch pad.
That's great.
It's making me want to run to the kitchen
Go for it.
and just start experimenting.
And that's the mark of successful marketing.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah.
It's not just about selling a product. It's about sparking a passion,
Right.
a sense of discovery,
Yeah.
a desire to create.
This is turning into quite the marketing masterclass.
I know, right?
We went from analyzing milk powder
I know.
to exploring the very nature of culinary creativity.
That's deep.
Where do we even go from here?
Well, I think maybe it's time to zoom out a bit
Okay.
and consider what we've learned from this deep dive into Shirdell guided us.
Good point. I feel like we've only just scratched the surface.
We have.
But yeah, maybe it's time to zoom out a bit and consider what we've learned.
Right.
Okay.
So we started with what seemed like a simple exploration of a dairy section.
Right.
But we uncovered so much more.
We did.
We've seen how a carefully curated selection of products can speak volumes about a company's target audience and their values.
Yeah, it's like they're saying, we know our customers are adventurous eaters.
Right.
They're interested in exploring global cuisines, and they appreciate convenience without sacrificing quality.
Exactly.
And they reinforce that message through their marketing.
Yeah.
Offering those practical tips, inspiration to help their customers incorporate these diverse ingredients into their own cooking.
Right.
You know, I keep thinking back to that lack of specific cultural categorization for the dairy products. That really stuck with me.
That was an interesting detail.
It is. It's such a subtle detail.
Yeah.
But it speaks to a larger shift, I think, in how we think about food.
Yeah.
Less about rigid categories and more about creative exploration.
It's like they're saying, don't be afraid to break the rules. Blend traditions, create something new and exciting.
And that message of empowerment is so appealing.
It is.
It's not just about providing ingredients.
Right.
It's about giving people the confidence to experiment in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Discover new flavors.
That's what it's all about.
So if you're looking for dairy products with an international flair and you're ready to embrace a little culinary adventure,
you know where to go.
Shirdell.c seems like the perfect place to start.
It does.
Just remember, the website's in Swedish.
That's right.
But hey, consider it an extra challenge.
There you go.
Maybe you'll pick up a few new words along the way.
Exactly.
You know, if you try that coffee cream powder, let me know.
Yeah, I'm curious about that one.
I am.
Ew.
But before we wrap up,
okay,
one final thought.
All right.
I was noticing that both the website and the blog post emphasize these shelf-stable milk products.
Yeah.
The powders, the kaimak.
Yeah.
What do you think that tells us about the needs and maybe even the lifestyles of Shirdell.se's target audience?
That's an interesting question.
It is. It's something to think about.
It is. Yeah.
Food for thought. Right.
Food for thought. Absolutely. Yeah. So like they're encouraging a sort of culinary fusion.
Oh, okay.
You know, you might be browsing Iranian spices and then grab some Happy Cow cheese for a sandwich.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It seems counterintuitive though, right?
You would think you'd want to guide customers towards products that align with like their specific culinary interest.
Totally.
Keep them in their lane.
Yeah, keep them in their lane.
But this suggests a different kind of customer, you know?
Okay.
Someone who's comfortable navigating across cuisines.
Right.
Someone who sees ingredients as building blocks,
Yeah.
not tied to like a specific cultural context.
Okay, so less about recreating authentic dishes
Uh-huh.
and more about incorporating global flavors and textures into your own personal cooking style.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think it speaks to a growing trend.
Oh, really?
This blurring of culinary boundaries. You see it everywhere.
Okay.
Food trucks, restaurants, even home kitchens.
Yeah,
People are becoming more adventurous.
I've noticed that.
Yeah, more experimental with their cooking.
I think so, too.
Right.
Yeah, I think Shirdell is acknowledging that their customer isn't just looking to replicate traditional recipes. They're looking to create something new, something uniquely their own.
By not pigeonholing their dairy products, they give their customers the freedom to do just that.
Yeah.
They're trusting their customers to make those connections,
Right.
to be inspired
Okay.
by the diversity of their selection.
You know, this is making me think about how we approach food in general.
Yeah.
Like, are we too quick to categorize,
Interesting.
to label things as belonging to one culture or another?
That's a good point. Maybe this approach is like challenging those assumptions.
Yeah, I think so.
It's encouraging us to see the possibilities
Right.
in combining ingredients and techniques from different traditions.
Absolutely. It's like they're saying, hey, don't be afraid to mix and match.
Exactly.
Experiment. Create something truly unique.
Right. And by doing that,
Yeah.
they're tapping into a really interesting shift
Okay.
in how we think about food.
Yeah.
It's not just like sustenance anymore.
Right.
It's a form of self-expression.
That's a good point.
Yeah, a way to connect with the wider world and make it your own.
I love that.
Right.
Yeah, this deep dive is turning out to be a lot more philosophical
A little bit, right?
than I anticipated.
Yeah.
But I'm loving it.
Yeah, good.
I'm seeing this website and its products in a whole new light.
That's the power of the deep dive, right?
It is.
You never know what unexpected insights you might uncover.
For sure.
But speaking of insights,
Okay.
I think we should circle back to those marketing tips in the blog post. I think there's another layer to unpack there.
Oh, okay. I'm intrigued.
Because remember, they seemed pretty basic at first.
Yeah, they did.
Like add milk powder to your porridge, pair the cheese with crackers,
Yeah.
use condensed milk in desserts.
So what else is there?
Well, think about the common thread running through all those tips.
Okay.
It's convenience. They're showcasing easy and quick ways to incorporate these products into daily life.
That's very true.
Right. So it's not about elaborate recipes or, difficult techniques.
Right.
It's about making it accessible.
It's a smart strategy.
It is, especially when you're working with a customer base that might not be familiar with all of these ingredients.
Right.
So they're breaking down barriers. They're making global flavors less intimidating.
I see.
More approachable.
It's like they're saying, hey, you don't need to be a master chef
Exactly.
to enjoy these products. Just, try this or this and see what you think.
Exactly. And in doing so, they're inviting their customers to become part of this larger culinary conversation, one that celebrates diversity, exploration,
I like it.
and the sheer joy of discovering new tastes and textures.
I think you're right. And there's a subtle message of empowerment here, too.
Absolutely.
It's not just about providing the ingredients.
Right.
It's about, giving people the confidence to experiment in the kitchen, discover new flavors.
It's all about that, yeah.
It's not just a grocery store. It's like a culinary launch pad.
I love that. That's a great way to put it.
Right.
Yeah.
It makes me want to go try all this stuff.
It's the mark of successful marketing, right? It's not just about selling a product. It's about sparking a passion, a sense of discovery, a desire to create.
Wow, this is turning into like a whole marketing masterclass.
Yeah, no, we're great.
We went from analyzing milk powder to the nature of culinary creativity.
That's deep.
Where do we even go from here? Yeah, I think maybe it's time to zoom out.
Okay.
And consider what we've learned
from
this deep dive into Shirdell tests.
Good point.
I feel like we've only just, scratched the surface.
We have.
But maybe it's time to zoom out a bit.
Okay.
And consider what we've learned from this.
Right. We started with what seemed like a simple exploration of a dairy section.
Right, milk powder and cheese.
But we've uncovered so much more.
We did. We went deep.
We saw how a carefully curated selection of products can speak volumes about a company's target audience and their values.
Yeah, and I think, what are they saying? We know our customers are adventurous eaters.
Right.
They want to explore global cuisines. And they appreciate convenience but without sacrificing quality.
Right.
And they reinforce all of that through their marketing by offering those practical tips and inspiration for how to use the products.
Yeah, to help customers feel comfortable, incorporating all these diverse ingredients into their own cooking.
You know, I keep thinking back to the lack of specific cultural categorization for the dairy products.
That was an interesting detail.
It is. It's subtle.
Yeah.
But it speaks to a larger shift in how we think about food.
It does.
You know, it's less about rigid categories and more about creative exploration.
Like they're saying, don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Break the rules, blend traditions.
Create something new and exciting.
Exactly.
I like that message of empowerment.
Yeah.
It's really appealing.
Yeah.
It's not just, here's some ingredients.
Right.
It's, here's the confidence to experiment in the kitchen.
Exactly.
Or new flavors.
That's what it's all about.
So I think if you're looking for dairy products with an international flair and you're ready to embrace, you know, a little culinary adventure, Shirdell seems like a great place to start.
It does.
Just remember, the website is in Swedish.
Right, that's right.
But hey, consider it an extra challenge.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe learn a few new words along the way.
Exactly.
And if you try that coffee cream powder, let me know. I'm very curious.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Okay, but before we wrap up, one final thought for everyone listening.
Okay.
Both the website and blog post emphasize, like, shelf-stable milk products, the powders, the K-Mac. I wonder, what does that tell us about Shirdell.s's target audience? Their needs, their lifestyles, something to think about.
It is, yeah.
Food for thought.
Food for thought.
That's all the time we have for today.
Okay.
But hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive, check out our back catalog. We've got tons more to explore.
Yeah, we do.
And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode, all right?
Sounds good.
Until next time, happy exploring.
Yeah.